Getting into fifth dimension requires something from you that you've never done before. Before I get into that, the first thing we have to understand from a 3D perspective, when we are living in 3D reality, it requires us to be in a certain consciousness. It requires us to follow certain system, certain way of living. And we are primed as a being, and most human beings are primed to that living, to that system where we are told how to live. We are told what are the rules of the world. We are told how to be, and we follow that system. And the consciousness of 3D is fear-based. It is based on power, control, and fear. And that's how 3D consciousness function. So in order to survive in the 3D, you must live in survival. You must live in fear. So most people, even as you who is shifting towards 5D frequency, you will find yourself between these two paradigm where you are maybe in that consciousness of survival where you fear losing something, you fear not making enough money, you fear how you're going to survive in the future, you fear how people perceive you, how people see you, you fear rejection, resentment, anger, and there's all these emotions that are embodied within. All of those things are recalibrating consistently, energetically, and the frequency is sending those information to the world, and the world is responding to those frequencies accordingly because that is operating within. And it's not your fault for feeling resentment, rejection, feeling pain, feeling that when am I going to become financially free, when I'm going to have the abundance to be able to do the things that I enjoy, right? All of that is coming from this conditioning that have been programmed within you for many, many years. And that conditioning is operating within you as patterns, as frequencies, as emotions, and it's recalibrating within, and it's sending signals everywhere and everything. And the world, the consciousness is responding to those signals. So if things are going worse and worse, it is responding to the signals that are being sent from the frequency that human beings are holding on to. And we do not need to be ashamed of. We just have to face the truth, because when we face the truth, we alchemize and we send the light. So when we are operating from that frequency, we are projecting, and the world is mirroring back to us with what we are sending out from within. And it is all subconscious, it is all energetics. The emotions, the feelings, the past conditioning is all creating the frequency within that has been operating your life, and the world has been responding to that. So in order for you to shift from 3D to 5D frequency, it requires all those fear, all those pain and trauma that has created these patterns, that has created these frequency. It has to be alchemized. It has to get into harmony in order for you to lift yourself up from that frequencies that have been operating within you subconsciously, of course. You're not doing that consciously. It has been within you for years. And in order to shift your frequency from the 3D, from the fear, from the control of the world, from the consciousness of the world, because what we have to understand is the rules that are all in the place in the world, they are coming from a consciousness of this darkness, this density of that people cannot think from themselves. Therefore, we have to have rules and regulation for those people who are in a lower consciousness. The rules and regulations are not made for higher consciousness. They are made for lower consciousness. They are made from consciousness of fear. They are made from a consciousness of scarcity, because people who are in a lower consciousness, they are the one who create more darkness. They are the one who murder, kill people. They are the one who create chaos in the world. They are the one who steal. They are the one who cause pain and torture others. The rules are created for people in a lower consciousness, in the darkness. When we rise the consciousness, when we are rising in a higher consciousness, it does not tie itself to the lower frequency of the rules that are created for the darkness. Because 5D consciousness, the higher consciousness, knows that you must not do wrong. You must live in the light. You must create prosperity. You must be abundant. You must cultivate generosity, cultivate love and kindness and goodness and compassion. So it does not require any rules because the consciousness is higher, that it knows. It deeply congruently knows that you have to operate in the frequency of light. The darkness doesn't exist in the light. Therefore, you operate from the frequency of the light. And when you're operating from that frequency of the light, you are not doing things that are dark. Therefore, you do not require the rules because you already know, the consciousness already knows not to murder, not to kill, not to steal, not to be greedy, not to do darker things. It already knows. So it's operating from a place of light, flow, and ease and peace. So, in order to really release yourself from this 3D consciousness that is keeping you small, it requires you to alchemize the survival. It requires you to alchemize what is stopping you from operating from the frequency of this consciousness that is the light, that is ease, because the survival keeps us down. The survival keeps us locked in to a place of fear, the place of pain, the place of trauma. But in order to rise that frequency, we have to heal, release, alchemize to operate from a higher place. And when we operate from a higher place, when we alchemize what is blocking, when we alchemize the pain, well, when we alchemize the rejection, the resentment, the shame, the guilt, the deep rooted shame, when we alchemize that, we ultimately raise our frequency to a place that is in harmony, that is in ease, that is bringing abundance because it is flowing. There is no attachment to money, it is just a flow, it is flowing abundance. It's flowing energetically and doing things from a place of flow, ease, and peace, and taking that aligned action without being in attachment. And this is the key when we talk about 5D frequency. We are really saying that the frequency is so light. It feels so light. It is just operating without any attachment, without any fear, without any shame, without any resentment. And that is the secret of the higher frequency, 5D frequency. It operates from a place of love minus resentment, minus rejection, minus hate. If you want to operate from 5D frequency, you must learn how to alchemize resentment and resistance. And when you alchemize resistance and resentment, you rise up your frequency and you operate from 5D. If you would like me to help you, to guide you through this process so that you heal what hasn't been serving you and you heal the past so that you rise up to meet your higher self and to live the life of financial freedom and emotional freedom. If you are ready to rise up, click the link below to apply for my mentoring. Other than that, like this video if you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and may the light in me reaches the light in you.